Welcome to an Empower PL video tutorial. So we're looking at Google Forms, and what you see on the screen here is an example of a form which has some basic question types like short answers, asking for name, email, drop-down menus like this one asking for what is your birthday month. You can also have multiple choice questions. You could even ask folks to upload a file. But in addition to that, there are also other things you can do, like adding a video, following that with perhaps a video reflection question. You can also do still images like I have here in this example, where I'm asking people to look at these images, and then after they've seen these images I've presented to them, then you can follow that up with a follow-up question at the end of those images. So we're going to take a look at how to actually do that. We've seen so far different question types that you can add using the plus button to add a new question type. Right? And those have all the things we talked about earlier, which were things like the short answer, paragraph, multiple choice, etc. Right? But instead of doing that, what we want to do is add a video. So let me come to a last question down here. And then now after this, I want to add a new question type-ish, in the sense that it's adding something new. It's not really a question, but I'm going to add a video. So over here on the right-hand side, I'm not going to click the plus because we're not adding a question yet. Instead, what we want to do first is add the video. So I'm going to click on Add Video, that little icon there, and it's going to pop open a window where I can either do a video search, or if I already happen to have the URL to that video, then I can just actually paste the link in by selecting URL and then pasting the link in here. If you're going to do a video search, you can just come over to video search there and then type your inquiry. So perhaps you were doing a search for perhaps a lesson you've done, or you perhaps maybe uploaded. If you recorded some instructions, you could upload that. Or if you found online something that's been pre-created by somebody else, you could also get the URL and drop it in here. But let's just do a quick search for, let's say, Google Docs 101. And let's see what we get. We're just going to do this on the fly. And let's say here we found a video that we're like, yes, that's it. That's a great tutorial. That's the one I want to include in my video. So you scroll through, you look for what you're looking for. If you find something you like, you select it. Obviously, if you already know that ahead of time, it's really useful. So let's select a video by simply clicking on it up here, and then down here at the bottom, we're going to click on the select button, and that's going to drag in that video. Now you can title this video, so we can actually title it the same thing that the YouTube video is titled, or you can decide to call it something else. So I'm going to call it Google Docs 101. And these three little dots here next to my video, I can change the alignment of the video. So I want it to show up right in the center. So I can say center align. Okay, so there is my video so far. And now what I might want to do is follow this up with an actual question. So the idea is that when I'm going through the form, my users would see the video, they would play the video, and now what I want to do is add a question type and say, reflecting on the video, what other questions do you have about Google Docs? Okay, and this is going to be a paragraph style, because obviously I'm wanting you to reflect on my question there. So giving you ample space to be able to type in your response, and that pretty much is how you bring in a video and how you could use that to help guide your instruction. And so I want to show you what I showed you earlier here. Let me just go back a step. I'm showing you an example of how I use Google Forms with videos as part of my instruction. And in this case, in this workshop that I do, I have some guiding questions that I list right up at the top, and then I add videos along with reflection questions specific to that video. And so the idea is to use this as part of me presenting with this tool, as well as a guide for the end user that gives them the same video that I'm showing, as well as their reflection question that they can then reflect on in that moment. And so this is a really great way to either use this form as part of your instruction on the fly and as you're doing it, or of course, it could be something that you send to your users. So I could send this to my workshop participants ahead of my workshop, so beforehand, so that they can already watch every single video all the way through and reflect on their feelings. And then when we meet in person, we can actually have a discussion. So you can use this in a lot of different ways. So I wanted to make sure that you were familiar with adding videos. The other option that you have, aside from videos, is an image. So I'm going to click on image, and now it gives us the ability to be able to go add images. So this allows us to either upload from our computer. You can activate your camera and take a picture. Of course, if you already have that photo that you found on the web, you can insert it via a URL. You can, of course, go to your Google Photos. So I'm going to select a photo here and then insert that. And then lastly, of course, you can go to either your Google Drive or your Google Images. But we're going to select this one that I have in my Google Photos. I'm going to go ahead and insert that. And again, you can title your image if you'd like. National, let's correct that there. Whoops, National Geographic cover photo. Okay, so there is my cover photo that I want to include. Once again, 3 little dots. I want to make sure this is center aligned. Perfect. Now I'm going to add a question type. Once again, I like to do reflection questions, but obviously this could be a multiple choice. You could say, or you could ask, if it was cropped off and you couldn't see National Geographic, it could be a question like, okay, this picture came up in our research. Do you recall the magazine that actually created this? And obviously the answer would be, in a multiple choice, you could include some options and the answer would be National Geographic. But I'm going to do another reflection question that I like to do here. So in this reflection, I might say, what microaggression is present in this photo? All right, and obviously this would be relevant to a workshop where we're looking at microaggressions and stuff like that. So that could be my question there. Let's make that required. We're good to go. All right, let's take a look at this particular form now that we've added both a video as well as an image option, so you can see what that looks like. So I'm scrolling down through my survey here, and you can see here's my video that I added. And when folks come to take a look at this, they can put this in. I'll be going through this video pretty quickly, so make sure. So you could certainly do that. And then here's my photo. Of course, both things nice and centered the way we made that choice earlier. And that's it. So that's how you add both a video and an image to your Google form.